Welcome to the study session where we are breaking down the BCBA 6th edition test content outline. Today we are diving into motivating operations.
Oh, I love this topic. It's one of those things that makes you see behavior everywhere, especially when you're craving coffee or trying to get a client to work.
Absolutely. Motivating operations fall under Domain 2, Applications, specifically Section F of the task list. And the task list makes it clear that understanding MOs is critical for everything: reinforcement, punishment, functional assessments, and verbal behavior. If you don't master this, you'll struggle with intervention design.
And the exam loves to test this. There are usually 6 to 10 questions on MOs across the whole test. That might not sound like a lot, but missing them can cost you points you really need.
So let's break it down. A motivating operation is any environmental event that alters the value of a reinforcer and changes the frequency of behavior that has produced that reinforcer in the past.
Right. And there are 2 main types: establishing operations, which increase the value of a reinforcer, and abolishing operations, which decrease it. The classic example is food deprivation. If you haven't eaten all day, food becomes more valuable, that's an EO. If you just ate a huge meal, food is less valuable, that's an AO.
Here's where the exam will try to trip you up. They love to present a scenario and ask, is this an establishing operation or a motivating operation? And the correct answer is actually motivating operation, because that's the umbrella term. EO and AO are subtypes. The task list uses the term motivating operation as the overarching concept.
I always tell people, think of MOs like a light switch. An EO flips the switch on, makes the reinforcer more powerful. An AO flips it off. But the switch itself is still a motivating operation.
Exactly. And let's bring in some real-life analogies. Imagine you're working with a client who loves iPad time. If the client has been denied iPad access all morning, that deprivation is an EO. iPad becomes a super powerful reinforcer. But if the client just had 30 minutes of iPad time, that satiation is an AO. iPad is now weak.
That's golden. And here's a clinical example. During a functional analysis, you might see escape-motivated behavior. If the task is really aversive, that creates an EO for escape. But if you've already given lots of breaks, escape loses value, that's an AO.
And in verbal behavior, MOs are critical. Think about MANDs. A MAND is essentially a request that's controlled by an MO. If a child is thirsty, that EO evokes the MAND water. No mo, no month. The task list explicitly connects MOs to verbal behavior.
Right. And ethics comes into play too. We have to be careful not to create harmful MOs. For example, we shouldn't deprive a client of basic needs just to make a reinforcer stronger. That's a violation of the code.
Great point. So when you're studying, remember the acronym MO equals value plus behavior change. And for the exam, always ask yourself, what is the current value of the reinforcer, and what behavior is more or less likely because of it?
Honestly, if you can answer those 2 questions, you'll crush the MO questions. And remember, the exam loves to mix MOs with reinforcement schedules. So if you see a scenario about a client working harder after being denied access, that's an EO in action.
To wrap it up, motivating operations are the engine behind behavior change. Master them, and you'll see the whole field more clearly.
For more practice questions, visit www.bcbamockexam.com.
See ya.
Bye.